Hello and welcome to our brand new podcast, The Sin Bin.
Is it definitely called that?
We calling it.
We're going with that.
And that's it. You've decided it's a sin bin.
Well, I haven't decided. We collectively have done that, haven't we?
How long ago?
What were the other ones?
How long ago did we just decide that?
About half an hour, 40 minutes.
Not even that. We just came in here and said 5 minutes ago.
There was some good chat. Good
Sin bin. What was the other one?
Rugby Rogues.
Rugby Rogue. That was actually mine.
Yours was Rogue Rugby. So
Hold
different.
on. No, mine was. Three wise twats.
Three wise strats.
Real rock and rollers.
Yeah, the rock and roll. Yeah, the rock and rollers. The knock on. That was straight
How
out.
sad is this? I was actually Beck's driving me to the airport. I said, "We need to come up with a name," and she's just like telling me stuff. She went the breakdown, and I was like, "How do you know what that is?" You know
what?
Yeah, the breakdown.
I'm surprised that's not been taken, actually.
Well,
It must have been.
All right.
I think we throw it out there. So this is
Straight
very
out,
much.
yeah.
This is going to be very much. We're starting, as I described to you on the phone when I was stressed earlier. This is the seed. We're planting the seed,
It's a living animal. It's changing, yeah.
and it's going to grow.
It's a living document.
I think we let some people on the outside that watch us. That hopefully the 5 or 6 or 7 people that watch this,
Mum, what do you reckon?
they can fire in some stuff. So
Yeah, a little short list. I like that.
What has been going on? Okay, you've been away. I mean, last time we all chatted, you were in Bali. It was end of season tears. Everything was going on. You were clearing out your locker.
Was that the last time?
Yeah.
I was at that beach club, yeah. Sad. No.
is that the last one?
It was Shout.
The old podcast.
It was,
that we used to do?
Don't need
it
to
was
talk about
Scout
it.
doing golf
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
on a stag.
Yeah.
What a boy.
What
And he
a legend.
was absolutely tearing off.
Yeah.
So how long ago was that?
Doesn't matter. Don't need to.
Hold
put
on,
a time
I was in Turkey, wasn't I?
Yeah, it was.
I was in Turkey.
tasty.
He was in Bali. That was like 3 months ago, and obviously we haven't seen each other since then. And I've strictly put a pause on all of us talking to each other over the last.
Can you
half an
explain
hour,
how that
hour.
works, though, Ryan? Because we've taken a cab together, which was boring because you wouldn't let me ask any questions or talk to you.
I wanted to keep it real. Keep it real. We don't know where this podcast is going. We don't even know if we're going to talk about rugby. But I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that we didn't waste all of our good stuff chatting in the taxi because I want it there. I'm going to tell you some stuff that you haven't heard yet. I'm going to.
Oh, wow. You're going to blow my mind.
Yeah. There's some stuff I want to talk to you about at
God.
Bristol.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, come on, bring us up to date. What's been going on?
Who should we start with?
Bezier.
Me or Matt?
Bezier.
Bezier, I want to go Bezier first.
Well-
Okay, explain the context of this. Is through our sort of little chat group, we've been chatting, and you were flown out to Bezier.
Is that what I was flown out? Do you want the real story? I'll tell you the real story because you know who threw me under the bus here, Jim and Bark. So I was meant to be on the big Jim show
Okay.
with Jim Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
Jim's
Big
like,
show.
"Well,
That's a
you're
big
coming.
show.
You're coming on." I said, "Mate, I'm coming on. Don't worry." And then last minute, he's texted me, "What's going on? Like, you haven't booked flights. I'm trying to get you down here." And I'm like, "Jim, don't tell anyone. I'm in Bezier." And he's like, "What are you doing in Bezier?" I said, "Mate, I think I might have cracked it.
One more.
I think I've signed. I think I have got a job carrying on playing rugby, doing the thing I love."
How long was it for?
Well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that, okay.
It was meant to be a 4-month. It was meant to be like a medical joker, so it'd take me up to January. So I was like, sweet, dip my toe back in, see if
In
I
the
still
shop
enjoy
window.
it.
Yeah.
Not done a huge amount since since the beginning of last season. Yeah, we won't go into that too much. But I said to him, "Mate, you can't tell anyone because obviously I've got a few other bits going on, a few other jobs in the real world that I'm trying to get into." And I said, "You can't tell anyone." First thing I've heard, someone sent me a thing, said, "Mate, you want to listen to the Gym Show? It's so funny." I'm like, "Oh no." Oh God. So there's him and Barks, and they pointed to the chair and went, "Who's meant to be there?" And they went, "Wilson." And Barks went, "I'm not sure where he is," trying to be a good mate. And Jim's gone, "I know where he is. He's in Bezier. He's signed for Bezier." Next thing, out in the rugby paper, out in another newspaper, I'm getting texts. I've got Bezier fans following me saying, "It is a great privilege for you to come to Bezier." And I'm like, the deal's not done.
bunch, the Bezier.
The deal's not done. But I'm thinking maybe this helps the deal. Well, it didn't help the deal. I'm just fucking...
In opposite land.
I'm fucking sat here with you two mugs in a shipping container in Vauxhall, right? Telling Bex I'm getting paid a fortune to come down for a podcast that we're actually not getting paid for. And and that's where I am. So it all fell through. But I'm in Bezier. I buy my own flights. I've got to be careful because
You don't-
it
yeah,
could
could
still
still
be
happen.
there.
Yeah.
I'm meant to be speaking to the club.
Explain what actually happened when you were down there. Some pretty bad luck, though, right?
So I booked my own flights. Right, I fly down there on my own accord because I thought it will show that I'm willing and that I'm eager to get involved. Go to a pre-season game, rock up, coach. I'm here in bloody Santa Freak up in the mountains, driven a shoebox up there like a rent-a-car, nearly blown off the side of the mountain. I get there, phone the bloke. He goes, "Come to the pitch." I said, "Okay." So I tried to get in the stadium. I need a ticket, so I had to buy a ticket, €15. Right, open the old wallet, moths coming out of it at the moment, as you can imagine. Mortgage rates, Max. Oh my God, 1.89% to 6.2%. Anyway, that's another thing. I go in, so I pay for my ticket, go in, I meet him on the pitch, and then we're just chatting away. I sit with them, watch the pre-season game. I'm like, this is it. Oh, this is me. Maybe introduce myself to the boys. Their 10 snaps his ACL there and then in the last pre-season game. And straight away, I called it, and I called it to you. I said, mate, I don't know if it's happening, because he's been going, what's going on? Are you going to Béziers? He wanted to go on holiday down there. And I'm like,
Planning it.
I don't think it's a good thing that the 10 snapped his ACL, because now they're going to be looking for a 10 as well as big money move on me.
Of course, yeah.
And so, things went very stale. Met the president in his tennis club, which was quite interesting.
Was that nice?
Me and Gary McManus.
Well, Gary was there.
Gary lives in Béziers.
I had no idea.
Gary's got a beautiful house in Béziers, so that's why I went down there, stayed with him. Might have drunk a little bit too much in the build-up to meeting with the president.
Sounds like you.
Wait, explain who Gary McManus is, and also because there's a bit more of a lead for the weekend.
So Joe Mack, one of my best mates since I was young. You went to school with Joe, didn't you?
Absolutely. Hell of a bloke.
Hell of a bloke.
Lunatic.
Getting married.
I know.
And we're both going to his, you think it's an engagement party, it's pretty much a wedding. Well, because he lives in Oz.
Yeah, so he wants everyone on this side of the world there.
So it'll be treated like a wedding. I think there's 30 glamping pods.
Ooh.
Did you know? You not know? You've obviously not replied. Oh, I'm guessing.
No,
Max hasn't fucking replied to anything.
No,
He did actually say, he did actually say Max has been fucking useless. And
did he say it? He said that.
Yeah.
Did he actually say that?
Pretty sure he said.
He did message me, so that might have made sense. And I said, yes, I'll be there. I mean, you and I will probably be the most out of control. But no, there's a few characters there.
Yeah, of course there will be. I know.
Who else? Go on, give us any other.
I'm not too sure. I'm
going to be there?
Sure. Oh no, there'll be no other rugby players.
Nah,
well, there'll be rugby players, but not professional rugby players.
What? Did you just do that?
I've got to stop.
You're not even one of them anymore.
I know.
So hard.
You're an ex-professional.
Do you know how many?
No, you're a current.
I'm on a sabbatical.
You're a free agent.
I'm on a sabbatical.
A re-aspiring professional
I never retired. So anyway, I'm down there. Gary McManus at his house, beautiful. Leonie Nakarawa's found out I'm there. He's come down from Cast.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Oh yeah, and then he doesn't drink, but we've got very drunk in the town hall at some party. There with the mayor of Neffis, the little town, an absolute legend of a bloke, said I can live in the village. I was like, perfect. Sort me out a house. I'm thinking this is it. I'm going to be the celebrity of Neffis.
It sounds like a good year or something, yeah.
Exactly. And then Sunday we drive down very hungover. I look into the footwell of Gary's car. I'm like, you've got your trainers on, have you? And he was like, yeah, why? And he's hungover. He's a bit dusty. I'm like, well, meeting him at his tennis club, I think we're going to have to play this bloke at tennis.
Genuine. You didn't.
Genuine. No, fucking. But that's the sort of weird shit that happens in France because I turned up. And we're at his tennis club, and he's there. He's like quite a suave little bloke. Owns Shilton, so he's wearing his Shilton gear, like they sponsor the club. He's just getting up halfway through and like greeting everyone as we're trying to discuss this contract, which is, by the way, getting pretty much written down on a fag packet. And I'm like, this is weird, but this is what I want. He's like, yeah, all good. You will watch me play paddle. So there's some, excuse me. You will watch me play paddle tennis, and I'm like, oh, you want me to watch you play paddle tennis? And I'm looking at Gary, and Gary's like, oh, fuck.
That's 30 now, isn't it?
Yeah, 30 degrees, mate, hanging out my arse at 10 o'clock in the morning in France.
At least you're not playing it, though.
Yeah,
it could have been worse.
But still, I'm like, yeah, love to, mate, love to. Let me go and watch you play paddle tennis. So he's taking us down. He wants us to watch him play. It was just the most strange ordeal ever.
He's a nice guy, though.
Lovely bloke, really nice. Mika, we're at Mika. Show me the money.
Please, still.
Please.
Show me the euros, Mika. I'm still here. So, yeah. Anyway, come back. Everything falls flat on its face. Jim tells the world that I've signed for Béziers. And,
you haven't.
yeah, egg on his face. Just muggins over
slightly.
it. Do you know what I mean? All the boys at rugby. Because I'm still going to Glasgow, boys. I'm still going in training. I'm going in train with the boys in pre-season for a laugh.
Are you actually?
Well, I thought I haven't done
Yeah.
3 months, nothing. I thought I better fucking do something. So I went down. They were doing a little some conditioning games,
And you're just in there.
and I just thought I'd jump in. I'm in the weights room with them. I'm doing the gym,
Everything.
and they're all laughing, going, "What? He's never done weights in his life.
What's he doing?
There must be something going on here." And I'm there in my own clothes doing weights with everyone in Glasgow Warriors gear. It's just a strange place. I've still sit in my same locker. They're like, "Well, you can't." I went in there. One of the academy boys had put his stuff in my space.
You're like a phantom.
Ooh, wait, but what do you?
I got his keys, threw them across the room, threw his wallet in the bin, and pulled all his clothes out and threw them everywhere. Went out to train and went, "That was really weird.
Wow.
Your stuff was in my space." And he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And the manager had gone round and just covered my name up with his name, but he obviously didn't know. He'd never been in the first change room, so he didn't know that used to be my spot.
Yeah, but it's not your spot.
No, I know.
What a grown-up response to? It's nothing to do with
Wow.
you.
Nothing to do with me, but I'm still going in there.
That's so old school for you.
What are you
That's
doing in my-
unbelievable. You're like the phantom of Glasgow Warriors now.
Just clinging in there.
Just a ghost.
What, boys? I think I'm fucking having a breakdown.
Yeah, mate, it sounds like you're institutionalized. That's what it sounds like.
I think you're worried. He's worried about it. He contacts me, just stay off the booze. That's all he ever says to
I
me.
do. I
Stay
text
off
you
the
all the
booze.
time. Like,
You
don't.
like got some Stockholm syndrome or something.
Just you fucking wait.
Yeah, I know. I'm in real trouble.
No, but you wait. When you get to the end,
Yeah.
I feel lost, boys. I'm fucking lost.
Oh, this is See,
And so imagine that carrot getting dangled there. Do you want to come and play in Pro D2 where it's slow, you just fight everyone?
chill, Good money.
Around a Thursday and Friday, house in the car, little bit of spending money,
Have a good
5
time.
wine sponsors, right on the beach. I'm like, oh, there it is. Train like a fucking madman, and then we'll take that carrot away.
Yeah, but are you in good shape though? Are you ready to go if things need be?
More
Ask him,
importantly,
what about
is
him
he
on
in
the-
good mental?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's ready to go. He's got the dog. He's ready to go. Not that it was the black
You know,
dog. but
you know
he's-
the legend of Bezier? I think his name was Vaquan. They've got a statue of him at the front, right?
Okay.
And they go, "This is our legend." And I'm like, right, he must have done something good. He must have done some good for the community. So
Yeah,
he won 10 out of the 11 top 14 titles. I'm like,
Oh
fuck it,
wow.
that's
Okay.
big time.
Yeah, that's Jordan of top
But
cattle.
he go to the bar, he drink too much, and he play Russian roulette. And one
No
shot,
way.
Boom.
No, genuine.
shot himself and died. Yeah, I'm like that. I'm going, fuck, is this the initiation? Because I'm all
Is
in.
this the level I've got to be at to be a legend here?
Initiation, Wilson. Do you know what I mean? 2 bottles of red, and I'm like, boys, I'm in.
I'll do it.
Fuck drinking milk. Russian roulette.
Wow.
Go viral, that would.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is
Yeah, the things you learn.
that is wild.
I haven't even had a medical
never
yet.
heard-
Like, I didn't even get to the medical stage, but I started thinking, shit. Well,
You want to do the medical before, 'cause otherwise you'll be like me. Get out there, start training, and they're like, "No, Monsieur Lahif, you must go now."
yeah, that happened to you, didn't it?
Yeah, and then I had to go down to Bordeaux, get the next scan. That's a
you go
drive.
injured?
Claremont to Bordeaux is a drive.
So there, he's been through a similar thing. It was
Yeah.
there. It was
It
dangled.
was there.
in
So I'd signed, but all I had to do was I was
Remind everybody. It was you'd
so
signed for Clermont.
for Claremont as a World Cup joker for Slimani, big rabbi. at
4
the
years
time.
ago.
Yeah.
So you were in my shoes 4 years ago.
So I got there, and 2 weeks in of training, they're like, "You get the medical done." I was like, "I should have done this before." Anyway, I got the next scan, and I was like, I saw her come out. I was like, "Oh no!" Straight in to the consultancy room. She's like, "You're no good. There's no chance."
What was wrong with you?
I had like a congenital spinal stenosis of the cervical canal.
Oh, one of those.
Classic.
Wow.
So that's a classic one.
I
I
mean,
remember getting
who
one of
doesn't have
those
one
the
of
other day.
Basically, space of the neck for prop forwards in France. It's particularly pedantic. They're very safe about these.
But they don't
things.
care here.
Oh, I thought it was something to do with your
But I
bumhole.
saw another consultant here, and he was like, "You get to go, big fella."
Fuck.
Yeah,
Mental, eh?
yeah, it's just different gravy.
But boys, I'd sent the dog away, right? The dog's gone.
What, to the farm? Tell me not to the farm.
Not to the farm.
That's good.
Where-
That's
where is
fucking
it
why
gone?
was that your first thing?
Yeah, dog's gone.
Why?
I'm like, this means we can get rid of the dog. Perfect.
Farm gone.
Dog's gone. Went with Bex's mum's. He's moved down south. He's moved to London, right? He's a London dog now. He's moved to London, right?
Yeah.
So obviously then the kids are like, why is the dog going away? We had to tell the kids. We told the kids' school. We packed up the house. I've chucked out I reckon 90% of my clothes because I thought,
Yeah, you did the purge.
I'm like, we just
Yeah.
got to get rid. Basically, like, you've got so much shit. It's
Yeah,
moving.
just
It's
get
going to be a
rid of it.
nightmare. So I just started throwing all my shit away. I've just thrown all my clothes away. Anyway,
Genuine, I would.
going back to that, the only thing that I did, the only time I felt good about retirement, or no, sorry, take my sabbatical, is watching the boys of the Bronco. And do you know what? Chatting to them at Glasgow, I said, yeah, but you've got to be like Max. Have you done a Bronco yet?
No.
You fucking what?
I'm a
How can you
genius.
believe it?
It's
Talk
still
to us
that
about
age
your
thing, right?
pre-season.
It's still you.
My
you d-
pre-season has been awful, but I've got a way of not doing any of the Broncos.
How do you do it for everyone out there? How do you do
Because what you got to do is go for a run on the downs in barefoot shoes and dare your calves.
it? Barefoot shoes. do you
That's
mean
what I did
bare
back
feet?
in the day. Yeah.
You
So
tore your calf.
yeah. During lockdown, I was like, I was getting antsy. I was like, I need to go and do something. So I went for a run up the downs in Clifton. I was like, you see all these sort of pregnant ladies and yoga mums sort of running effortlessly around the downs. I was like, I could do that.
Yeah,
Went for a run.
with no shoes on.
5K. No, like minimalist shoes. I was like, I'm feeling animalistic, so I went for a run. Blew my calf out. I phoned in and told him the S&C Kev Geary. He was like, oh no. Then Pat found out, called into the office like a naughty schoolboy,
No.
and he's just unloaded on me. And I was like this. And then Ben Earl, for one of the socials that year, we went to do like a performance. And you know that video of that movie where Hitler's losing it at
Oh
his
yeah.
offices?
Oh, yeah.
He
What?
put subtitles underneath, and Pat was screaming about how Max Lee blew out his calf doing a run. Everyone was in hysterics. Anyway, since then I had a couple more calf tests.
But oi, that's a lot. I'm running 5Ks to keep fit because it's easy, quick, get over
Yeah, I know, it's not
25
too
minutes,
bad.
go and run.
Nice.
But calves, fucked. at the
Yeah,
end of it.
they are.
I don't get that when I
serious.
train, but when I go for a 25-minute run, that's right. That's a 5-minute kilometre that I'm running at the moment, sub 5.
Woof. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
We'll get the stats.
Knees are fucked, but they're not really. Bezier.
yeah,
But my calves absolutely wrecked.
yeah.
Pre-season, talk to us because you told me the other day. I don't know whether you're lying because you're so shit, unbelievably shit at coming back to anything. Like
Okay.
organising this podcast.
I've been
You have
cooperative.
been, no, Max's dad. I know he listens, and he's messaged me a few times saying you're fucking useless at timings and stuff, and we should punish you. For
My
it.
dad has.
Yeah. yeah. Oh, he's reached out on Instagram.
Patrick, you traitor.
Where were we
What are
going?
we
with
alluding
this?
to?
Where were
Yeah.
we going with
No,
this?
what are you
we
alluding
want
to?
We want to hear about his pre-season,
Oh, yeah,
but
pre-season. No,
let's
why
just
will you
quick-
finish at 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Oh, okay. So,
Pat's lost the plot, mate.
no, he hasn't. He's
Mate,
an innovator. He's a paradigm-breaking DOR of the highest order.
see, I can throw shade now because I don't have anyone to report to.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but seriously, that's mental.
It was only 2 days, and it was actually really good for my body clock. My circadian rhythm really works for that, so I actually really enjoyed coming in at 2 for weights and stuff.
look at the camera.
There were
and don't
other
look like
lads
you're
who
like-
had like kids and stuff who were like, "What's he doing?"
Fuck.
But basically it's been a big thing of he's trying to like keep people on their toes and unexpected bits and bobs and build some grit and discipline.
How are we going to get the listeners and viewers involved? That's another thing we need to really think about. I
I
want
think like
them to participate in this.
We're going to make it far more interactive
we're
than
gonna,
before.
like we read out sort of tweets and stuff that they want to fly into us about.
Well, also, hey,
And
let's
then
not
we
forget
topics for the World Cup.
topics
etc.
and let's not forget we're going to have it hosted. Still sort of figuring that bit out, but we will sort out our own YouTube channel, so then people can come on there and every single new pod they can hit us up there with questions and comments because it's very much directed at us rather than before. Our main issue was sprayed all over the place, and we were sort of answering.
Sprayer.
Yeah.
And no one likes a sprayer, so so now we're in a.
We can say whatever we want. Like, are you going to get in trouble if we do say whatever we want?
Well-
Another job.
Yeah. I
You
will
won't.
also.
You can say whatever you want. And
No, you are free as a bird.
you're free as a bird.
What a beautiful thing. We're going it alone. But we are using our sponsor here.
Thank you to Wolf Craig.
Distilleries.
Thank you to
Thank
Wolf,
you.
Wolf Craig Distillers.
Thank you
Yeah.
very, very much. Get involved. Go and smash some of that beautiful Scottish. I mean, it does everything, right? Whiskey and gin.
Whiskey and gin, yeah. and we'll keep this pretty relaxed because they don't want anything. This is fucking pretty ad lib what we're doing here. But Wolf Craig Distillers,
Yeah.
4 unbelievable ambassadors: myself, Finn Russell, Greek Laidlaw, and Stuart Hogg.
That's,
How good for that?
that's a squad, isn't it?
Isn't that a
That's a
squad?
squad.
A bit Scottish biased, if I'm honest.
Well,
Some-
we're looking for more. Imagine that for a piss up. And they have a 35-year-old out, a 30-year-old blend. They're just bringing out a 14-year-old. And they've also got the Wolf Craig gin now. So make sure you get over to wolfcraig.com and check them out.
First things first.
Yep.
Let's just, because it's always nice to have Max here as the sole Englishman in our trio, in our threesome.
Here we go. What's in England?
Let's fucking pound their pan in a little bit because they're so shit.
To be honest, I was very, very happy for the Fiji.
But I feel like that's. I feel like that's the
Yeah.
from I think
I know,
England
the
fans
pundits,
are fucking
the
so over.
pundits as well, though. Like they were flying into it, but England being terrible and not talking about how great
Sorry.
Fiji
How great
was.
Fiji was. Yeah.
Like they're genuinely
Made me so
like-
angry.
the Druas. Just mate, like the set piece now. They've got that platform. They can do bits now. Breakdown's
You
good.
seen at the beginning for the first 20, 30 minutes, box kicks,
Oh,
and
but
everyone's
they're
going, "What
playing,
are Fiji
they're
doing?"
playing. They get it.
But do you know why? And I know exactly why. They're keeping the game tight because England then start to shit themselves and go, "Oh my god, we should
This
be up
ain't
against
loose."
these boys."
Yeah.
And they've kept it tight, and then towards the end, throw it a little bit, get a little bit of Stardust, Randrandra. Oh my god! Honestly, so happy watching it. I was celebrating more than
But Bill
I
Matton
would in
was
Scotland.
also like he was effortless in contact, mate.
And they've still got people like Botia. Botia wasn't playing. Tuasova wasn't playing.
I know it's gonna.
Wanakola
They
wasn't
rest,
playing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be nutty.
And
No,
Baselli
Botia was
Yeto's
playing.
not even going to the World Cup, and you're like,
No, I think Botia
Yeah,
was playing,
Yato's
sorry.
not going.
Not going, but-
I'm so gutted. Yato's not going.
Ravu Talmada.
Mate.
Yeah, he was
Ridiculous.
naughty.
Unbelievable.
Because
That
he
man's
had
gonna
a
have
bit
love
of a
all
like,
level now.
because obviously Johnny May got round him, had a shaky start,
Hold on.
And then
Johnny May get on him and did what?
fended him and scored.
And then slid in and gave it like a real
Yeah,
shitty
I know, but-
celebration. I know,
No, he had. That's a bit of retribution for Johnny May, to be fair.
but loved it because he's giving it that.
And then it all came back.
Yeah, or it came back and
It
bit
came
him in the
back.
arse.
It did come back.
It was lovely to see. But yeah, how good were Fiji? Forget about how shit England were. Fiji were unbelievable, but England are pretty shit.
But they just.
Why are they? Why do you
What's
reckon
going
they're
on?
very shit?
Yeah, I do.
I
think
reckon you're
they're-
going to have to tweak a few things.
What's their group? What's their group
I think they
again?
just-
Argentina and
Yeah, that's
Chile, Samoa,
who
yeah,
else?
mate,
and
Argentina
Japan.
and Japan. Yeah, see, they're fucking so lucky. They're
are.
so
Yeah,
But
lucky.
They
even
are.
then, can't you see it? It's going to be that classic.
Yeah, but Japan,
Either they can get to a semi,
What's
or they'll
Japan
get knocked
got,
out of
really?
the group stage.
Japan are nowhere
I'm not
near
the
what they
same-
were
they're not
4
the
years
same
ago.
beast.
It's such a shame
It
to
is.
see
It is.
because
Argentina, Samoa.
Argentina beat
Argentina and-
England.
Yeah, but Samoa versus Ireland. Ooh, did you watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Ireland were kind of like desperately like just get out of here, win it.
Yeah.
Man, that
They didn't look like keen.
that happens in your last warm up game
you're
before
like,
you go
I
to
do
the
not
World
want
Cup.
to get injured. Like Keane Healy getting his.
Yeah, but don't they get you? Don't you? Are you more likely to get injured? Well, genuinely,
Exactly.
Genuine question.
You're more
are
likely
you
to get
more
injured
likely to get
playing
injured
like that.
trying not to get injured?
I think
Sounds
so.
mad.
Well,
but-
what I always think is right when we talk about the best players, they're always trying to take that last step. So when you get tackled,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
try and fight for that last step to break through the contact.
inch.
You go back and
Cheeky
watch the game.
offload.
Guarantee you, except for the Fijians, who it was like a World Cup final for them,
Samoa.
beating England there, and Samoa. Everyone else, as soon as they're touched, you know, like in a tackle
Yeah, I know
drill,
what you mean, I know
clip
what
the
you
heels
mean.
together and just fall over and let them tackle you.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. That's what it was like because
was a
it's
bit
like,
that.
fuck,
Ireland especially.
because if I don't do that and I try and I get my knee blown out, I'm out. I'm out of the World Cup.
Like big Keane. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it kills me. Poor blokes. I hate
Yeah,
it.
I
But
know.
I actually makes me sick. When I
It
see it.
is going.
And what about
I
me
like
backing
games
up
as well.
Owen Farrell, boys? What about me backing up Owen Farrell on social media when the whole thing came out? But I genuinely don't think, I know this has been talked about, I don't think he was trying to maim the bloke with his shoulder. He was going for the ball and he's caught the bloke. And fair enough, but
I think Jamie George's contribution to that is pretty big though.
even without that, I think Owen Farrell has gone for the ball. He's going for a reef. He's targeted the
I
ball
know,
and
but
he's
it's
caught
just
mate.
his-
But
It's his history, man.
so this is where I'm at because what I'm trying to say there, sorry, is
Anything
I
can
don't
happen
want
now.
boys to get
Yeah.
ruled out of World Cups.
Absolutely.
It's
not.
shit. Everyone should just reset and they go, okay, like, is it the Tongan fella that's why everyone was kicking off?
Yeah, so
he
everyone-
should. That's
was-
ridiculous that he.
that
had
was
a much
outrageous.
bigger ban for doing.
George Moala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute bullshit.
Mate, what is going on there?
Do we
That's-
think there's a tier issue where you've got tier 1 nations and you've got Owen Farrell, and
if you
again,
ask,
it's
if you
not
ask a
to take
Polynesian
away
player,
any-
he'll say
yeah.
it's fully. It's
They've
fully-
got a KC that they can
Yeah, yeah.
spend 70 grand on or whatever.
It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
There is.
That's
There's an issue
distorted.
there.
It's
So
distorted.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe they should just get. It'd be fucking loose, wouldn't it? Because then everyone could just take each other's heads off. But maybe they should have just done it so that actually, when you get to the beginning of the World Cup, we reset everything and everyone's
yeah, I
available
know.
to
But
play.
then it could have just been
Because it'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Because then
I
you
know,
go, okay,
I know. I saw. I was thinking that. I was like, they should just scrap this. All these
Yeah.
cards is so
Gutting.
gutting. Yeah.
So I
much
coached at a
faster.
team in Glasgow, and they had a ref come in and do the new rules.
Yeah. And everyone was like, "What are you talking about?"
Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, really?
It was like apparently there's something as well to do with
No,
if-
you can't
as
do
a,
that.
As a
Yeah, you have
player,
to
you've got
let
to
them
offer
tackle.
them something
Yeah.
to tackle. And I'm
Mad though, isn't it? Here's
Imagine being a ball carrier and being like, "I'm gonna give you
murder me.
I'm gonna." It's like
Run
it's a
him to the
GA.
wall.
It's
Melt
a,
me.
it's a gentleman's agreement. Like you know how you do that in
yeah, tackle
those
drills,
2-on-1s.
tackle deaths,
Yeah.
Oh, every time. That's what I'm talking about.
On a
Clipping the heels
2-on-1
together.
Training. That's what you do. You're like you just kind of go in gentle, bit of footwork, let them get that bit. But in a game, obviously, you're like you're
For the
as
kids out there, you do that with the ball, and because they're like, right, I want you to
Yeah.
step, and you do this, you point,
yeah,
you hold
yeah.
the ball and you point.
or you go like that.
Yeah, so you know which way you're going because you never want to step
Yeah.
unless there's some complete knobend in your team.
Yeah,
who's-
like academy lad who's
Yeah.
like a bit strong. So
Then
you've
you-
got to turn it up a couple of notches because he might hurt you if you don't treat
myself
him.
and Max came up against each other in that horrible situation,
Yeah.
1-on-1. You know when you come around and you're like,
Yeah.
oh
And
god,
you're like,
here we
yeah.
go.
Well, who's the worst person? Who's the worst trainer that you've met? Not in terms of how bad they are at training, but more you just
goes
never want
gooey
to be
all the time.
opposite them.
Nico Matawalu, no, only because he
Does you up.
just steps you.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and Callum Gibbons one day had to do tackle technique with Nico, and I swear to God, he was laughing whilst doing it and stepping us, and it was
Yeah.
like in a tiny little thing like that. he stepped
Toulouse
you in front.
and Toulouse Viano and Charles Pietau, if it's like that. But if it's because if they're being undiplomatic contact faces, it's probably like, like Jeb Sinclair was kind of annoying, the big Canadian back rower.
Any second row.
He just had to show you how alpha he was, so he was just trying to win every collision.
Nah, you don't.
But doesn't the whole squad go like, come on, mate? Like,
Yeah,
we're all-
it
we're
does
all-
happen.
we're
It
all
does
part of-
happen.
yeah.
Some people get sorted out, but some don't. But yeah,
Mental.
New
They
Zealand,
can cut
France,
these.
Italy, Uruguay, Namibia. Talk me through. Go.
Who's coming out of there?
France, New Zealand,
Easy, all day. long.
Who's winning? Who's winning the first? Who's winning the opener?
France.
New Zealand. I've got this weird feeling that the All Blacks will win the opening game at Stade de France. I don't know why. I
think-
just think it's a different type of game, and they win it, right? But I think they meet again in the
And then
final,
France beat them.
and then France beat them. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, but that's.
But you're going
too-
France
I
opening
think France got too much now.
I think it's just going to be so much hype around them, so much build up, and they're
Intermac
expected
and
to win.
Dante.
Scotland took them close, mate.
But,
That was
they
their second
did.
team, mate.
But it wasn't like
Well, the second test wasn't. The second test.
Scotland are good though.
Scotland are good, but
Yeah,
no, we're
that
not.
is-
we-
Yeah, exactly. We've got
And
to
the All
go
Blacks are
both.
shite. So
don't-
you're saying, Max, you're saying the All Blacks are
I'm
shite.
saying the All Blacks are inconsistent. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. Okay.
I'm saying they're very good, but they're
Right.
inconsistent.
So I think we start putting a few wagers on these types of things.
Okay, let's go with the first. Oh, wait, can I? I'm not.
Opening game. I'm going All Blacks. You're
I'll
going
go
France.
France.
That's a shit bet for me. So
Yeah, fine.
I should get good
Although
odds.
I will just add in the spice that France basically don't lose when Jonathan Dante plays, and he
Yeah,
is
I know.
out.
He's
for
out.
That opener.
He's out
But
with that.
anyway,
That's
that
big
is the
one.
bet has been made, so that's fine. So France come out of it.
20 quid
so,
on it.
So
Yeah, 20
New
quid.
Zealand come out top of that group. That's it. New
Yeah.
Zealand's going to be an expensive round today. New Zealand come out top of that group. France come through. No upsets in that group. Italy not causing any upset.
I watched them.
And we
They,
like
they
it.
actually
Yeah,
look good. Did you watch them against Japan?
Japan.
I actually really liked them, but I don't think they got enough firepower.
Got our
to
boy Seb
trouble those
Negri
two.
there. You
Yeah,
know.
but Japan
know.
are really disappointing.
I really want to say Paolo Adogu start. I don't know why he's not starting.
He looked all right, though, the other day.
Yeah, he did.
They've got a good team.
Montiuani and him. Oh,
And
Yeah.
how good to see our old little mate Ange back.
yeah, he's still dangerous.
So I had a good night with those
Good night,
boys
yeah.
actually. Scotland, Italy. A few boys got their first caps. Shared a couple of whiskies with them What was that place in Edinburgh?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
usually too
St
drunk
Edmunds,
by the
don't
time
they?
I get there. Was he? Oh, where did you see him?
On that documentary I did with Calcio Storico, because him and his brother are like big Florentine men, and they want to like take part in it one day.
Pool B. So South Africa, Ireland, Scotland, your boys, Tonga and Romania.
After watching South Africa the other day over the lot against Wales and the All Blacks, before that I was like, we've got a chance. We beat them in the opening game. Now I'm like, oh my god, that's gonna be so
You
hard.
can scalp one of them and then you're through.
No, you can't scout one of them because by the time you get to Ireland,
So who you saying?
okay,
who
obviously,
you more likely to beat? Who's Scotland more likely to beat?
weirdly South Africa, but not if they do that 7-1 shit again. What about that?
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Do you love
How
that?
cool was that? I was like this.
Yeah, and what about these?
Do you see what? Do you see everyone going off about it? Like they got to change the rules. That's against the spirit of the game. No, it's not. Imagine they get some backs that get injured, like some
Exactly.
actual skill
Yeah,
positions. There is
Clovis
so
Reinach
much
playing
trouble.
at like wing. He
Yeah.
might have been having to play like inside.
Jasper
Yeah,
Vies
exactly.
plays sevens though. He could fit in anyway, couldn't he?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant.
It was
Like
class.
looking at different ways to do it. That's why they're good. They're
choice
the
pack
ones that
is a
innovated the
joke.
bomb squad thing, eh? Just changing the
and
front
then
row.
getting it even more fruity.
Yeah, and now they're just.
But
going
now
to
it's
another
like
level.
seamless. Like you can't pick. It's so hard to pick who their first choice forwards are. Really,
Imagine you were in there. Have you ever been given you're only doing 40 today?
I've had that a couple of times. It's beautiful.
So you started
Early doors,
You
yeah.
started,
So
and they went. You're only
Pat will
playing
literally
40.
Pat goes to you. You're only playing 40. You're coming off.
Yeah, but is there always something in the back of your head? You're like, nah, you could be fucking with me. Here.
Nah, he's never gone back with it
Yeah, see,
he's
that would
always
be
done it.
what an amazing feeling, knowing you can empty yourself
for
for 40 minutes.
and then someone else has come. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it makes
Like
sense.
Ox
But
and
why are they
Che for
saying? Why are they saying
Stephen
it's against the
Kitsoff.
spirit of the game? All this stuff. Why are they saying that's against the spirit of the game?
Because they're worried that it'll basically super soldier forwards. So then you could basically roll on a fresh set of like high velt warlords.
It does make it. It
And
does
then
make
you've
it.
got you basically got a load of fatigued little Caucasian guys from Europe going up against these absolute specimens of human destruction. And that's basically why I think they're a bit worried,
It does,
especially
make
with
it
the
does make it
narrative
more
of
dangerous.
concussions and stuff.
So what I'm going to say is, before all of that, I was like, Scotland beat South Africa. We obviously do the job on both the other ones, and Tonga, Romania, and then Ireland. Doesn't matter. We get through. We're into the quarters. It's anyone's game. I'm slightly more worried now.
I don't know I know South Africa are building nicely, but smoking New Zealand, was that a sort of an outlier?
That's what I mean. That's why I sort of think that New Zealand might beat France because it wasn't really. They didn't really do much. They made loads of mistakes. They didn't really fire any shots.
Yeah.
And that's why I think if they click and they go well against France, opening game of the World Cup, completely different circumstances. It's not the last game before they go. Everyone can give it everything. That's why. So, yeah, I don't know. But because I'm going to stick with Scotland,
Yeah, so you go.
I'm going to go Scotland beat South Africa, we beat Tonga, we beat Romania, and then not sure about Ireland. Because by then, it's a fucking long old slog to get there without too many injuries.
You think Ireland beat South Africa?
Yeah, I think Ireland beat South Africa.
Oh gosh, I don't know. That's
So I think
hard.
Ireland, Scotland going through.
I'm
from
gonna
there.
go, I'm going to go with my brain. I'm going to go Ireland, South Africa, go through.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah, I
because
think that's
if-
fair enough.
if-
But I really, really want Scotland to go through. I think they've been playing class.
For the neutral, how good is that group in a
Yeah,
in a
it's
mad way?
outstanding.
It's-
And I'll be down there. I'm
This
going.
is like the best
Scotland.
Scotland have played for time.
By the way, this is something I forgot to tell you boys. So I'm going down to Marseille to watch Scotland, South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't play rugby anymore, so I can do
No,
what
for the moment.
I can
In
do
this
whatever I
February
want.
thing.
So I can do what the fuck I want.
You just have a long off
And
season.
so I'm going to go down there and I'm going to watch the game and I'm looking forward to it. And then on the Monday, I've been offered some work.
Oh, really?
On one of these cruise ships. Have you heard about these? Oh no!
What
Oh
do you do?
no!
You would MC on a cruise ship?
And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was
you
like,
doing a tour?
I can't tell you.
Juggling or
I can't tell you until we get into the podcast because I don't want you to know what's going on."
The teppanyaki.
No, this is not a good idea. No, this is
I
fucking-
could just imagine.
We got Ryan Wilson.
Yeah.
Boys, you get on Monday, right? And because what they've done is they put these ships in the port at Marseille, and then people are staying on them because
Oh,
England
so
play
extra
Argentina.
hotels there.
England played Argentina on the Saturday. Scotland plays
Oh,
South
you're going to be like
Africa
an
on the-
evening with Ryan
on the
Wilson.
Sunday.
Q&A.
I'm like, you know the red coats at like Butlins. I'll be up there like, did it? But no,
You're doing a
what's even
Q&A.
worse is right. There's Q&As there, but they were like, yeah. So here's the dates, and I looked and I was like, what the fuck? 11th to the 15th. So I'm on this boat for pretty much 5 days. I was like, oh god, that's not good. Firstly, and then I looked at the itinerary. Oh God, I hope Bex doesn't listen to this because I might have to tell her that it just stays in the port. First, you get on the boat, you fall asleep, you wake up in Ibiza.
Genuine.
Yeah, genuine. Right.
This sounds outstanding. This sounds unbelievable.
Ibiza to Corsica and then Corsica back to Marseille over the 5 days. And all they've said is, we might need you to get involved in a poker tournament. And I'm like, is
That
someone
actually
paying me for this?
sounds
Because
like-
this sounds like 10 grand of debt. Like going to Ibiza, getting involved in a
Yeah,
poker
but it's
tournament.
also the sort of hedonism pilgrimage I'd expect from you.
Oh, boys, yeah, I know, but I mean, like, there's work and then there's work. And is
No,
that
but
work?
whatever
is
your
you,
fears,
bro.
you'll blow it over that
Oh,
fucking
man.
5-day period.
I'd throw myself off the boat after 48 hours. I'd be like, man overboard. I'm done. I can't go.
I'm going out there with one of the guys from Wolf Craig. And I
Oh.
was like, don't worry, you can stay on this boat with me. And I was thinking, don't tell him. Imagine we go to bed like, in
wakes
Marseille after thing. And he gets off the boat. He's like, bonjour. And they're like, hola. He'd be like, the fuck is going on here?
Mate, that sounds a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
really dangerous. So, yeah.
But very dangerous, but also a lot of fun. I don't know if you should do that in your mental state.
Me neither. I'm like, just drop me off at Beziers.
It's like
I could
An
come back to
evening ride
Marseille and then
crying.
just get the train down to Beziers and turn up for training. You never know.
But what is your actual role there? Sorry.
Not sure. They're doing like little like Q&As on there.
Oh,
and I
okay,
think
just
there's
like-
like a quiz
okay,
on
got you,
there.
got you.
And then I think there's some podcast types things on there, which we
Okay, so-
should have got the jump on. We could have been on there. Rather than being in a ship container, we could have been on
In
a
a
ship.
Very good.
Yeah. It would be very nice. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. So let's wait and see what
Okay.
happens off that. But I'll have some fucking good stories, won't I? If I make it back.
if you're alive, yeah.
Remember them.
If I make it back.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm probably staying at Mark's house then because Bex kicked me out because she's like, you fucking went where?
Yeah, fair. That's actually.
So that's me. Scotland, South Africa, going to be down there for the game. Can't wait.
Come and have a chat with Wills. And let's talk about Pool C in what we can only describe as the really unfair half of the World Cup with Wales, Australia, Fiji, Georgia, and Portugal.
Oh gosh.
Which, to be fair, is an open ass pool.
3 of my Bezier teammates play for Portugal.
Australia, Fiji. Easy. I reckon Fiji might even qualify at top
Why? Yeah, but what gives Australia so much right?
because I watched. I just think Australia, if they can tweak their discipline, I think against France they showed enough positive stuff where I was like, mate, I've never seen Winnie Antonio go backwards. Angus Bell had him on toast. Taniana Tupou was getting penos for free.
How good is Belly? Boy used to play 8, you know that?
Really?
Yeah. He used to play number 8, Angus Bell.
Do you know him?
Only for the barbell stuff.
Mate, he's some boy. Hell of a carrier. And he's crucial for carrying.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that
class.
morning they were going to play him at 8.
Were they?
All the stuff happened there, and Renz was like, "Belly, you can play 8, can't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was going to play 8 for the barbells with all the stuff. Remember that?
Oh,
All the
right.
COVID stuff.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, yeah.
So you're going Australia and Fiji.
I don't think Wales are going to crack it.
Oh, wait, hang on. The Wales-England game where they just absolutely
I
pulverised
know, that's
England.
what I mean.
And they looked like a Gatland team.
So you think Wales gets in there?
I'm almost thinking Wales, Fiji. Rather. I'm obviously going
really?
Fiji. Fiji's my second team. Fiji are close to my first team at the moment. I fucking love them that much. So Scotland and Fiji are my teams. But I can't go with my heart here. I've got to go with my head.
To be fair, Wales played like weird teams in their.
The only time they got spanked, there was a proper second.
Yeah, I know it's true. It's true. Their lineups were sort of quite mixed bagged. Like I expect their lineup for the World Cup.
I like the Aussie boys though. I love the Aussie boys, and I think they're all legends. But I'm going to go with
Too
Wales
young-
and
too
Fiji
young, too-
because you've gone the other way. I'm going to go Wales, Fiji just to keep it
Of course,
interesting.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to see. Because imagine Eddie after that. Imagine his press conference after fucking.
It would be.
Oh my god! But I genuinely think
You
he's
said
got.
you like Eddie now.
I do
Come on.
like him. But how funny was all that shit recently over 2 weeks ago when he
You
came? out?
negative. Yeah.
Oh, where he's just started,
started going
TED
off.
talking on the Aussie press.
But that's why I'm like, I think he's got something up his sleeve. Did you see it when they asked him about Fiji England result? He was like, "It's good to see, mate. It's good to see."
Really? I didn't see that.
He was like, "Yeah, no, it's great to see, mate." You can be like, "Yeah, I'm fucking loving it, absolutely lapping it up."
Right, and obviously your pool of death, because every team is a potential victor against your wonderful England side. England, Japan, Argentina, Samoa, and Chile.
Oh, it's tough now. It should be a walk. It should be easy for them, but it's tough now. Who you got? You don't think England get out?
I'm so annoyed that
Scotland aren't there.
On in this piss easy group of
Nah,
fucking life.
Argentina definitely come out of there. I know that for a fact. Argentina come out of there all day long.
Samoa
Chex
or
has got those
England?
guys going, hasn't he?
Argentina and
or
Samoa
England?
for me.
Oh,
Argentina and Samoa. I think there's so much pressure on England.
Yeah.
There is so much pressure, and if Samoa
But is there now? Is there
Yeah,
so much pressure? on
Yeah,
them?
because there is. Because it's still like, yeah, of course there is. It's a World
I
Cup.
feel like they've been written completely off, mate. I feel like everyone's thinking what you're saying.
rightly so.
It feels a bit 07-y, doesn't he? In a,
Yeah,
in
it
a
does.
little way, it feels like you guys are so bad.
No, I feel
But-
like it might be worse. Is it worse than 07 right now?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Because it's all there's been so. Was there as much change right before it as there is now? In terms of like,
Yeah, it's quite a lot. Been quite a lot, hasn't there?
go on my heart again.
Samoa, Argentina.
Samoa, Argentina.
Mate.
You what you had?
I gotta go. I would. I gotta. No, I'm going Argentina and England.
Argentina, England.
Imagine if Samoa just come through the top.
Tomorrow.
I feel like Samoa could dust Argentina though.
I know. I think the Argentina. I mean, they're leaving out Seb Cancellara, who plays at Glasgow, and he's probably one of the best wingers I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh really? Did you see Samoa versus Ireland though?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
I know.
oh mate, they're loaded.
Yeah,
At tight
like,
end as well.
like when it gets a bit loose,
Oh,
some of their like
Big
breaks
Theo.
and-
Ooh.
fuck.
He is naughty.
Yeah. Your old mate Luatua is there, isn't he? So they've got
Yeah.
some. They've got some
Chris
good
Vui,
players in there.
Stevie
Yeah.
Luatua.
So they've got enough.
Mate, they got so much caliber. Yeah.
Oh,
Do you like Luther? Is he a good lad?
Oh, he's wonderful. Bloke. Lovely.
Okay, so Pool A, who's qualifying out of New Zealand, France, Italy, Uruguay, Namibia?
New Zealand and France.
New Zealand, France.
In which order again?
France and New Zealand.
New Zealand, France.
Same. Pool B, the pool of the death with South Africa, Ireland, Scotland, Tonga, and Romania.
Ireland, South Africa.
So you think Ireland beat South Africa as well?
I think that it's a flip of a coin for me there.
Ireland, Scotland.
Fine. Wales, Australia, Fiji, Georgia, and Portugal in Group C. Pool C.
I'm going to go Fiji and Australia.
Oh, I'm going Australia,
Ooh.
Fiji.
Babies.
Chalewa.
And the final group, the group of life, if you will, England, Japan, Argentina, Samoa, Chile.
England, Argentina.
Patriot, you
Patriot. Back the boys. Back the Rose boys.
fucking disgust. Argentina, Samoa. World Cup final. I still, for some reason, think France versus All Blacks, and I think France will win. I don't know why. I think it's just be quite a nice thing that it started there, ends there.
It could be Ireland, South Africa, to be honest.
At some point, either in the quarters. When the
Like
se-
2007, England, South Africa. I reckon it could be like Ireland, South Africa. And group buddies end up in the final.
Should we go for some standout players of the tournament? Kane and Moody for me. He's been outstanding. And I'm going with Handballsy. I've seen him. I've seen him.
Moody
in his-
plays at wing as well sometimes, just so you know.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
Wow.
but he was playing centre against New Zealand, but I think he's a winger.
He was fucking unbelievable in the centre. It's just another. He's just an absolute freak of an athlete. him, Tuisova, Wanakolo, Levu, that back line of Fiji.
I want to go Mark Talea. I think he's going to be the man. He's on flames at the moment. And then I'll go with Mr. Semi. I think Mr. Semi just looks like he's on top of his game right now.
yeah.
He looks dangerous.
What about those boys in the centres? Everyone's loving Fiji now. They've beaten England. Everyone's loving them. But I genuinely think they're going to do well, even if
Mate.
they hadn't beaten England.
Yeah. But they're like killing it statistically as well.
Oh, God, I just hope so. They're saying that because they've had more chance to actually come together, play, they prepared better than they ever have before a World Cup. Usually they just sort of turn up, they get thrown together, and they sort of get told, go out.
But also they got like a core of guys playing
within
consistent competition rugby. And that's like, I always found like with teams like Fiji back in the day, you got these like moments like the World Cup where you suddenly got these guys all together, but like they always lacked a bit of like the fundamentals of the game in terms of like set piece. And when the tier 1 teams played them because of set piece, they could take care of a lot of possession, but now they can't because
And
they've got like Maui and that at the front.
The fact they've got, a pretty shit group,
Yeah,
they're going to
that's
stand
gonna
out.
help. Yeah, they're going to be on flames. It's going to be class.
There you have it.
It is ridiculous.
But Samoa's the same though. Like if you look at the guys in those key technical positions now, like Theo McFarlane, unbelievable line out forward, and then you got like Paul Aloamiel at tight end, one of the most hearty scrummagers in the top 14.
Who are the team that are going to do more than you expect?
Well, I can't.
England.
Yes, England,
Yeah,
because everyone's written them
you
off.
reckon everyone's written them off. They're going to come
Yeah.
in and do a little bit.
Yeah,
Who's going to get the upset? They're not going to cause any upsets, though, are they?
who's going to get an upset?
Like, who's
Like
going to
ju-
cause
who's
an
going to
upset?
do the Japan South Africa job?
Yeah, is it going to be like a Portugal? Is it going to be like a? Because who are in Portugal's group?
Wales, Australia, Fiji.
I feel bad for Georgia. 'Cause I
Georgia.
watched Georgia against Scotland. I was like, these boys are decent. They're
I reckon
proper good.
there you have it. Then mine is Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia, good man.
I reckon Georgia could do.
It's an open group.
Yeah, okay, there you have it. Georgia for me. With
Yeah,
that
I'll go
group,
Georgia.
they've got a good chance to upset a few people.
Georgia look naughty. I'm with
Who flumps?
who's England. No, who flumps?
Who's
it?
fucking it up, basically? Who's messing up this World Cup?
South Africa. For me, South Africa.
You're gonna get the
I know. I've even been texting Kitsy today, seeing if he was about. And then,
Good name drop again.
Get to catch up with him in Marseille, but yeah,
Oh,
imagine.
that would be interesting.
I think South Africa maybe.
Why are they purring so
They look so
wonderfully?
No, they do. I know
New
because
Zealand.
for some weird reason, I think
Ireland.
you reckon they are. That's nice. That's a nice little
Ireland.
'Cause you
I've
could
just
quite
predicted they're going to get out of the
you
group. I'm
could
going to
quite
go
easily
Ireland.
say Scotland, couldn't you?
No, I'm
Because-
saying Ireland. That's a way further fall for them.
Yeah,
And Ireland have a weird World Cup hoodoo.
yeah.
never.
They
got
always
past the
have.
quarterfinal.
That
Always
is the
have.
group to watch, isn't it? That is the group to watch. It's exciting.
All right, give me a wild take to close off our World Cup. Something sort of ridiculous that you think might happen but is highly unlikely.
What, like a fucking cyclone that happened in
or
2019?
like, no.
That had it in 2019 and ruined our chances against Japan and made us lose and knocked us out before the quarters. Yeah, might have been the beers.
Yeah, I think you guys drank your chance, didn't you?
That night, I remember I was like, fuck, I'm going out into the street. And then everything was just written off that week in this weird place that we were in, and it just felt very odd.
Oh, wow.
I remember going drinking a lot in Japan.
Yeah,
Going back to the
I heard-
2019
I
World
heard
Cup,
that.
I think about it. I
heard
think,
you lot got weird.
yeah,
I've got stories.
like let's just
Did you want to lose to Japan in a really bizarre way?
no.
But there was nothing in
The only
back of
time
your
the
mind?
only time I've actually been happy losing an international rugby match is in Suva against Fiji.
Oh, fine, you're still
Not I wasn't
Get
happy.
You
I
love Fiji.
I
Stop
wasn't
fucking
happy.
noshing them
I
off.
wasn't happy, but
Yeah.
it was like one of those ones where you were like, it's the first win against tier 1 nation when we had gone over there or something. And I was like, I actually
Yeah, it's
was quite happy for him.
cloud with a silver lining.
But that Japan, no way, because obviously we wanted to go through to the quarterfinal. You get paid loads more money.
Yeah, okay, fine.
That's
It was
true.
like
The Nicky said that's
it
11
was like
grand down the box.
2015. If that ref hadn't fucked it up for us against Australia, I'm pretty sure we would have all got like 25 grand more. And all thanks to John Welsh, right? I wouldn't have been sat here fucking
With you, cunts. Just doing this.
I'd be on. I'd be on Good, the Bad, and the Rugby.
Rather than this fucking sit bin on the breakdown, wherever it's called.
Who knows? Who fucking knows?
But no, yeah. But thinking back to it, 2019 was so good. Do you know what was so good about 2019 is because it's weirdly you weren't that recognisable because people in Japan didn't really know much about rugby, so you could go out and have a beer.
So Ryan Watson could be an absolute maniac, basically, in layman's terms.
We could have a few good nights out during the World Cup. There's obviously big breaks, right? You weirdly play like a Saturday night, and then suddenly you've got a game against Russia on a Wednesday, and you're like, and there's a lot of rotation, so early doors I'm not going to be involved, or I will be involved, and then you've got a bit of time off, but. It didn't stop me. And also, mates had come all the way over to watch me in Japan. I couldn't then, after a game, and then they're like, do you want to go for a beer? Be like, no. I had to sort of...
No,
you know
this
what I
is
mean?
the pinnacle of a rugby career.
I'll go
I'll go on the piss with you because you've come out here.
Just,
Maybe that's why I am where I am today.
it's not like I'm representing a country.
Fuck.
The dreams and hopes.
Ah, shit. You're making me feel bad. You're making me feel bad.
Oh.
That's just the old school way of me. Because I can still get the job done. I can still get the job done.
I play well, pickled.
What,
Yeah,
I
fair
can
play.
Still get the job done. We were told you are not allowed out after beating Russia. There is no way anyone goes out.
Who went out
It's
that night?
Gregor was
I
like,
think.
no.
No, not throwing anyone on the bus. They're going to the World Cup, but boys enjoyed themselves. You go. You're away for a long time. And so I wonder how France will work. I was joking with Finn the other day. I said, will you get Uber helicopters down there in Monaco? Like,
Yeah, he can.
Ubercopter.
He can.
So I'm thinking his brother lives in
sweet
Monaco.
bath
Is he going
money.
to be jumping in a chopper? Who knows? You know,
Sweet.
Tooney will have like security cameras everywhere watching all the boys, making sure.
Bold
no one
take.
gets done.
Bold
Although he
take.
seems a bit more relaxed there. I thought you said now. about
Yeah, he
everything.
does. He does. But there's temptation.
He can never
there in
keep a
France.
good man down. But what I was going to say, bold take, rugby will forever be changed after this World Cup.
Why? How?
What will? Sorry.
How and why?
I think it's going to be utterly sanitized,
What?
rugby.
Really? You reckon that's it? This is
could
the
be
last,
the last good one.
Really?
good.
That's a
my
good
God,
take.
That's a sad thing to think, isn't it?
I'm going to put it out there. I hope I'm wrong, though, but that's my take.
Yeah, you're fucking right.
I think it
The
could.
way that football's gone, right? This is what I was listening again to another podcast.
Do you remember when Skulk said this with us last time?
But like you can't you've got to. I did some stuff at Glasgow, my real life job the other day. Oh,
No.
boring. Right, boring real life job, and I had to take some people around, and I sat there and I did like at the end of the thing, I did a thing on leadership and culture. Went downstairs and I went to the change room, and I was in the first in change room, and I was like, this is like the best feeling in the world when you finish the game, and you sit in the change room, and without fail, win or lose, on the booze. Do you know what I mean? Jokes, obviously.
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah. If you draw, drink some more. But basically, I was like, the best feeling in the world is when you crack open a beer after, no matter what, win or lose. You crack open a beer and you sit there and you're fucked in like blood, stitches, dying, and that first swig of the beer in the changing room,
Yes.
and you're just like, and you look around and you're like, oh fuck, that was
Some good
80
bastards.
minutes of hard graft with these good blokes.
Yeah.
How good. There's no better feeling. And I almost, when I was talking to people, I almost got emotional.
Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
right.
what am I doing?
I'm about to
I was
shed
like-
a tear.
And I was like,
Because I'm a high functioning alcoholic. I'm joking.
there it is. I was literally like in front of these people, and then I started thinking, fucking hell. And then I was like, yeah, that's probably what I miss most. You could just
the cold,
Yeah.
cold, crispy embrace of a fresh yeasty beverage.
you get, not the beverage bit for fuck's sake.
I know, I'm joking.
But there's
sorry.
40 people there,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'm
and it's
just-
like,
you know when you go into that thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably the thing I miss most.
and you were just.
I was like, anyway, let's move on.
Next slide, please.
I did then
Cap-
say,
yeah.
you know, because you have a beer in here, and then you go into the shower and you have
It
a
is
beer in the
weird
shower.
though, isn't it?
Then you get in the ice bath and you have a beer in the ice bath, and then you probably go through and sit on the.
You get in the car, you have a beer in the car.
Having a beer, then you wake up and you have a beer.
You're in the,
I've
then you're in the
not got a
club, you have a
problem.
beer.
I didn't used to have a problem. I do now.
No, I know what you mean.
Go on, what were you saying? It is
It is
weird.
strange though. I think we went over this before when you see all the good blokes leave a club and you're just like, but what you share in that time with them is so sacred. But at the same time, it's it's completely subject to impermanence. It's just, and before you know it, it's gone.
Is that going to get pushed out of rugby though? Like I
Oh, that
know
like
what
what
you're
Scout
saying in
was
terms
like
of
what
the
Scouts were
game.
saying. Yeah,
What you're saying in terms of the game, I understand. Like it could be the last really good Rugby World Cup because of the rules and all this shit changing. But in the same sense as that, like look at football. They don't have a beer after the game. They're not allowed it, are they?
to be fair, what's his name looked like he was having a good go of it with Man City.
Grealish. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's why people love him because
He was-
he
it was
looks still
novelty.
normal.
the bloke down the
found it,
pub
yeah.
goes, yeah, that's what I would be doing. That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
And so in rugby, you still got that. Whereas in football, that's
Do you
getting
think the
lost.
younger guys in like the ACAD, the guys coming up, are different? A lot
No,
They
different.
don't
not,
booze it.
not in Glasgow.
No, but they don't booze as much.
I've made
don't
sure
they? Don't
they
the
stick
kids
to the
now
booze.
Grooming.
Yeah, yeah.
Grooming.
You will drink.
um,
Nah, I don't know. Some of them
yeah,
are
they're
like
still
they're.
pretty loose. I don't know. I think for now we could still be in a place where that's a thing. I feel like the money of football is what kind of changes that.
Yeah.
You're
It's
lucky
like-
there's less money in rugby.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. So it
Yeah.
keeps everyone sort of humble enough, and
I was looking forward to the 6-hour bus trips with Bezio.
also you know
It's a
how
big
football
bus
like
trips.
the teams always get traded and changed the whole time, so it's very difficult to build any kind of like
Yeah, you don't really get that in rugby. do you?
you don't get that. You don't get massive wholesale changes of a club.
Bex would be so happy if you called it the breakdown. She'd be like, oh my god, because we're breaking it down. The breakdown.
Fucking brilliant.
I'm having
That's great. And you're actually
having a
having a breakdown.
I'm having a breakdown.
The break-
Maybe we do go with breakdown.
Brian's in.
Right.
What do you
Brian-
reckon? Brian,
Brian's
what would
happy
you?
with
The
that.
sin bin or the breakdown?
Either breakdown.
All right, fine.
It's
Hold on.
good.
We've just decided the name of our podcast by the guy we've never fucking met before. Because he thought it was funny that I was having a fucking breakdown.
It is funny. So harsh.
So we're going to get the fans or the viewers, all 6 of them, to come up with a logo.
Yeah.
We pretty much decided on the breakdown.
And
'cause
some,
we think
and some,
Brian
and
did.
some, and some
Brian did.
challenges
we
So,
want them to come up with
and
challenges
topics to talk about. Boom, done.
and some topics to talk about. And
so
listen,
we're
if
just
anyone's
asking for
happy-
others
Basically,
to
produce our podcast.
If all of you can produce our podcast,
That's actually
then this would work perfectly.
That should
but-
work.
Yeah, no, it is fun though reading out people's like tweets and stuff.
We've gone it alone. We've had to do our own thing, but there is somewhere where we might be sitting, and there's still a few communication things we need to get across the line and do a few little deals. But you could probably find us some ball carrier. Did you know that?
I knew that. You told me.
Yeah, you told us one of the few
Sorry,
things you
told
told
us,
us
yeah.
in your we're not allowed to chat pre-conversation.
This is the problem, and you're not allowed to talk
You're
before.
not allowed
I'm
to talk.
telling you now.
exactly.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is where
But
we're
yeah, so we will sit this stuff on ball carrier at least during the World Cup, and hopefully forevermore. And we're going to look at doing some live shows.
Well, I think that's probably a good place to go. Thank you all so much for tuning into our very brand new and let's say newly branded as well, The Breakdown. Not just Ryan's Breakdown, but The Breakdown. And that's what we'll go for the moment. I think
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
I think the breakdown works until someone else comes up with something better.
We are a collective. We're a democratic group. So if we can come up with something better or you can come up with something better, let us know. But that's all from us here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And there's going to be a lot more. We're going to be churning some great content. And the boys basically just being legends. And we will see you all very soon.
World Cup, baby.
Fuck, that was. But we hammered that out.